But today we must take a wider look. Because of modern communication and modern technology, the whole world has become our neighborhood. And we are demographically moving closer and closer to each other, and we've become a neighborhood without becoming a brotherhood.
Journeyman is a platform where men can lay down their titles, grow together, learn from each other, and be accountable to each other. Many of us deal with several problems throughout our lives, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. At times, we may feel alone in our troubles. However, Journeyman is a space where you can feel safe expressing yourself with other men that are on the same path. Journeyman is a space for people like myself who never thought they would be living purposefully in their life. All right. Wow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm going to let this song kind of just jump a little bit, set the atmosphere. But man, we are super excited to be back. It is 2024 and we are kicking off Sharpen. And this is, we don't own the rights to this song, but it's Brandon Lake. And we are super grateful for Brandon Lake, and as we have an incoming call, but we're gonna go ahead and just let that go. But man, what's up, Patrick? How you doing?
Everything's good. The song is called Gratitude.
Yeah.
And I think we had a great conversation before we started the pod. And, reflecting on 2023, and that seems to be the motto. You really get a lot of gratitude for where we've come and where we're going,
right?
And, where we are right now.
Yeah, man, it's so good. It's so good to be back in the studio with you, bro. It's been a couple weeks off, couple months off.
I missed you, man.
Yeah, we had some good tamales.
Yeah, bro. We already bro hugged, so I'm not gonna do that on camera. But yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, look, I don't have a hat on today.
I know.
That's different.
If you look at all our podcasts, it's this weird shadow of our eyes because our lighting is just like it looks like we have sunglasses on with our hats, but either we're going bald or we are bald.
See?
And
it's the real me.
And us bigger guys always wear black. So you know, if you guys have a critiquing our attire or our hats, sorry, man, you're tuning in for the wrong reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But here we are.
Here we are, 2024. Welcome back to Sharpen. We hope that we're able to continue to dive into conversations about sharpening each other for men. That's what really Journeyman is about. And man, we're just really, really excited to be back into the studio to bring you some content, to hopefully give you an hour of power, an hour of some conversations or things that you can pull from, that you can sharpen from and learn from. And that's what really this space is about. Journeyman is here to continue to grow communities of support for one another as we act together on something that we know that we can do or we can't do without support. And so, man, we are a faith-based community, and we do believe in God, and we love God. And believe it or not, me and Patrick are Christians.
I know. Yeah. Sometimes people raise their eyebrows. Like, are you sure? But just ask around. Ask somebody else.
That's so good.
Whatever stories you hear, they're true.
Yeah, exactly.
They're true. I'm not going to deny any of those.
Yeah, but thank God for the gospel, man. Thank God for the grace.
Grace.
Yeah, man. So, again, Sharpen is here to have some very organic conversations surrounding men who are living on mission, or topical conversations that we see through the communities that we're in and out of. Patrick and I, I'm just super blessed, man. Are we a year yet?
Yeah, we'll be a year in February.
Yeah, in February. Man, we're almost there. We have a big bang. We're going to have a big guest. I don't know who that's going to be.
We'll get Joe Rogan on here.
Yeah, that'd be great. Joe Rogan, if you're tuning in, come on in, man.
How was your time off?
It's Sharpen. Let's see. Okay, so the end of 2004, obviously everybody took a family break. It was great. I had the last 2 weekends off of the year. So
you're doing prophecy 2003, you mean?
Oh, 2023. Yeah, 23. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. But it was good. I took some time to reflect, took some time to go down south with the family and walk my little toes off at Disneyland. That was not fun, but fun. I think the fun piece was just being with family. Always just good to hang out with my family. And I love to explore with my family and make them laugh and make them feel awkward all the time. So that was good.
And it's memories for our kids, not necessarily for us, but their pictures are going to be able to go back and see and memories of their parents. And they didn't, I'm sure when our parents took us out, to wherever when we were kids, they hated it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it was really for the kids.
Yeah.
Love isn't saying I love you. Love is walking until your feet bleed.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
Yeah.
That's true.
Love is not saying I love you. Love is using a public bathroom at Disneyland.
Exactly.
That's love.
Yeah. So we went down there the last week of the year. Spent Christmas home and had some good times with the in-laws and my parents and family. It was really good to eat different flavors of menudo and different flavors of tamales and take a breath here and there. No lie there. It was all good, all fun, and man, I'm just grateful for 2023. It was a good year. It was a year of growth, a year of transition, year of learning. There was just so much going on in 2023. There was a lot of shifting. But at the end of the day, God was still good to me, and he still is to this day in my family. But we ended the year with a bang and an empty wallet.
Yeah.
How about you, bro?
2023 was interesting. I was teaching at IoT until October.
Right.
And then so in October, I said, time to part ways.
Yeah.
And officially retired. So
retiring, man.
My second retirement.
You're like 40 years old, dude.
I know,
retiring.
My second retirement. So I left juvenile hall 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, it's almost been 4 years.
Wow.
And then I was teaching, and then I just left there. So I'm gonna take a year off and try to fit into some clothes I haven't fit into in a while, and just kind of take care of my health and stuff. And then at the end of the year, my wife planned this amazing trip to Alaska. Yeah, I was a Mexican in Alaska.
Wow, total difference, right?
Yeah, I'm not talking like
Disneyland.
not the lower part of not the lower part of. I'm talking like Alaska.
Wow,
Alaska.
dude.
So we were in Fairbanks.
Okay.
And, so long story short, she's always wanted to go see the Northern Lights.
Wow.
And so I thought it was just going to be me and her, but one, two, skip a few. There was 9 of us that ended up going.
9?
Yeah. So.
Whoa, that deserves a.
Yeah. Well, no. Where's that other one? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just kidding. I had a blast with my in-laws.
Yeah.
And so. The Northern Lights are pretty. It's something.
Okay,
it's
so
something.
I've never been really out of the hood. So tell me what the Northern Lights is.
Yeah, so it's between I think June and February, or August and February. Anyways, and it's just it's unexplainable. The lights and everybody look it up. I wish my high school and a few college credits could explain it. It's something pretty amazing. But we saw the Northern Lights, snowmobiling. We went on a dog sled, a 12-hour train ride, and you name it. We did it, and I've never been in negative 30-degree weather.
Jeez, dude.
And so we were ready though. She said, we're going to Alaska.
Okay.
And I look at my closet. I have one sweater. I think I have a light.
So me. That is so me.
I have like a windbreaker.
Yeah.
And a bunch of shorts, some chocolates. So I actually had to borrow some snow boots from my friend Chris and gloves.
Wow.
And, we got the hats, but we were ready.
Yeah.
We were ready. I have a story about that.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, man.
I have a parable to that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we did.
Man, that is so cool, man. Total difference. All right. Northern Lights, Alaska, snow, beautiful scenery, Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so that explains the seasons though, right?
I mean,
we're going to talk a little bit about that. I mean, 2 dads, 2 journeymen on this path in different seasons of our life, and Disneyland, Northern Lights.
Yeah.
I mean, just total different seasons. So congrats, man. I mean, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah. I only go to islands now. I've done Alaska. I'm only doing islands.
Yeah, I heard that, man. I mean, I'm a beachfront guy too, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what we're gonna do today? Tonight we don't have a guest.
Right.
We're not gonna say who we're having next
Exactly.
till the end of the pod, but we're very excited about who will be here in February.
Yeah.
But just kind of overview of 2023, kind of our vision and what's come up for 2024. There's things that we've done well and things we could work on.
Yes.
And we understand that.
Yep.
But this still continues to be a safe place for men.
Yes.
It's continued to be a safe place for families.
That's right.
For families and the honesty
Yes.
with the guests that come in here.
Mhm.
I'm just absolutely amazed
Yeah.
at the transparency
Yes.
of our guests.
So good.
And you know, you don't want to get caught in the numbers
Mhm.
because a lot of times you'll get caught, well, how many views, and
Right.
how many,
Yeah.
but you know, we've said it before, you know, it takes one small spark or flame
Yeah.
to start a forest fire.
Correct.
So it might be that one person that listens. And I was in Alaska. I'm on this train for 12 hours, and I start talking to you know, some of the people working there.
Yeah.
Actually, the conductor, turns out he's from Los Banos.
Wow.
So I was in
wow.
Alaska, like almost Antarctica.
Wow.
And I just started
That's
talking.
crazy.
And then I said, "Hey, what year did you graduate?" He tells me, and I go, "Hey, my buddy is from Los Banos. He graduated." And I go, I pull up a picture. Do you know this guy? He goes,
Wow.
I know who that guy is. And,
so crazy.
and they
so
you know,
crazy.
back and forth, you know, knowing each other. But
you guys were related, obviously.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what happens with us.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you know,
Yeah.
I know that's where I was going with that.
It's all good, man. I'm sorry I interrupted you. But no, yeah, man, we were really excited just to kind of talk a little bit about the reflections of what we saw throughout the communities that we've been a part of, and supporting men and connecting with men, and the ins and outs, obviously celebrating the successes that we saw, and then noticing some weaknesses still in men. And so, you know, we're excited to talk about 2024. But tonight, man, wherever you're from, just shoot us a comment. Hey, we're watching from here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button on YouTube, and share this podcast on Facebook. We're going to continue to just try to get the word out on what's happening with Journeyman and Sharpen. We're looking forward to 2024, but 2023. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about just a little bit about what we saw, what seasons that we saw, that we experienced personally, but also to kind of just throughout the men that we've been connecting with. But here at Sharpen, that's what this place is. We want to continue to highlight folks who are living on mission, and step into the arena to take risks in areas of life with a community of support, and kind of highlight that for you all. And again, if you miss episodes, we're on episode 24 for 2024. That's episode 24. That's so cool. But if you missed any episodes, go back to YouTube or even our Facebook page, and you can just watch them. We try to keep it to about an hour. Some of them are a little bit longer just based off the story, but we hope that you're grabbing some nuggets from that, and then begin to apply that in your life. And so 2023, what question did you have about that?
Well, I have a couple, but
yeah,
going back to so for those listening, I noticed on the YouTube shorts or even the Instagram shorts, what happens is I would have never watched that podcast or looked that podcast up or that interview up until I saw that little clip.
Right.
So you can, in the future, you'll see a lot more of the Journeymen, because like you said, there's so many nuggets in these conversations we have.
Totally.
But we have short attention spans.
Yeah,
so if we're not vibing after 3 minutes or not even 30 seconds,
Squirrel.
We're like, next.
Yeah, exactly.
But going back and listening to these podcasts, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So we're going to be posting that. We're going to be showing you guys stuff. So there might be stuff from last year that you never heard, but because they said this one thing, and that's what I was going to when I was talking about the Alaska trip and the guy from Los Banos. So shout out to Dustin, and shout out to Forrest.
Awesome.
Forrest is a conductor that was actually there.
Yeah.
And so got to talking to them. Me and Dustin had a really good conversation about faith. He works on the train, and I told him about the podcast, and we text later.
Yeah.
Like the next day, say, hey, I listened to the podcast.
Wow.
And I got this and this and this and this
from
it.
So
and
good.
So this guy working on a train in the boonies of Alaska is listening to the Journeyman podcast.
So cool.
And so we don't know who it's going to reach. We don't know who it's going to reach.
Yeah. And that's the idea. We're not looking at this as views or anything like that. Obviously it would be phenomenal. We're not here to make money. We're doing this for free on the kindness of our heart. We just want to see men's lives improve, because we believe if you're living on mission, your family begins to thrive, your society begins to thrive, communities begin to thrive, the churches begin to thrive, and the whole world gets better when the man gets better. And so that's the heart. That's the heartbeat of these type of conversations, where you can see who folks are who are living on mission, but also dealing with or where they've come from and different issues that they've dealt with. So the hopes is that you're grabbing some of this. And kind of just like, wow, that was me, or shoot us a comment. Hey, that was, man, I got that one word or changed my life, whatever it is. I mean, we love to hear some feedback. Our email is scrolling through there. We have a website that is also at Journeyman Nation on Instagram, or www.journeymannation.com. There's a contact us. You can fill out some information or shoot a message, whatever, just to know and hear some feedback. But anyways, we wanted to talk a little bit about more some successes that we saw in men in 2023.
Yeah. So, we've said it before. There's two places you are the most, as an adult. You're either at home or you're at work.
Yeah.
Those are the two places you are the most.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tally up the hours at the end of your life,
yeah,
you were either at home or you were at work. Those
right.
are the two places you're the most. And so journeymen, and even just living out our faith.
Yes.
That's what we say.
Yes,
you're living out your faith. How are you at home?
Mm-hmm.
And how are you dealing with the things in your home life?
Mm-hmm.
And was your church basically the four walls of your house?
Right.
That's our first church.
So good.
That's our first church.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go to work,
are
you acting the same at work
mm-hmm.
than you would have at home? And would have in the, and then we go to church to definitely get filled. But really to utilize those things are
mm-hmm.
at home and in that and at work.
Yeah.
If you're younger, you're either at home or you're at school.
Right.
And so how are you acting at school, and how are you acting at home?
Yeah.
And so that is what builds. And we've seen a lot of successes of people actually hearing these things and saying, hey, I'm going to kind of try that.
Yeah.
I'm going to,
good.
I went to church, go to
mm-hmm.
church, but
I
don't know, it was Sunday and I guess I
right.
just had to go, and,
mm-hmm.
or this happened at work. And, trust me, I've been a horrific example at times, and I've been a good example at times. And so that, if anybody listening, Patrick, remember that one time you cussed out the boss that one time? Like okay,
got him.
I do admit that. However,
right.
This is this place I'm at now.
Yes.
And the things we go through, at work, a bad boss, a coworker, or in our homes, a broken marriage, a kid that's off the hook, or finances. What an awesome opportunity to exercise your faith.
Yeah.
Because if this whole and if this whole God thing is fake, then I should just be looking at self-help books.
So good.
I should just be,
mm-hmm.
tuning into Dr. Phil or something. Nothing against Dr. Phil.
Right.
But so are we actually utilizing this faith and practicing this in our everyday lives?
So good, man. And so good that you point that out, man, because that's the hopes, man, is through these conversations, even if you've been to some form of Journeyman event or a gathering of some sort where Journeyman is hosted here locally, or just been a part through conversations. One of the things that in 2023, the men's mental health stats that kind of come out, there was about 77% of men, they took a poll and they experienced some level of symptoms such as anxiety, stress, or depression in 2023. And then the top three issues were what you just said. How are you at home? Either work-related pressure or financial pressure. There was a lot of that, right? So the hopes is that that we continue to find ways to strengthen men in the areas of spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and I would even throw in the areas of faith, family, and community, because if we believe that being able to see men get better in those areas, not by giving them something, meaning giving them a handbook or anything like, or a better book, more than anything, just creating a community support around them, we start to see men change. So one of the things that I reflect over 2023 of what we saw, or what I saw, was men just kind of taking big steps, some success. I mean, there was I believe that one of my mentors told me, he's like, you can't really change anything until you deal with whatever's in your heart. And a lot of men that I've been connecting to were that, dealing and surrendering some of the things, the hurts, the traumas, the issues, all that, and giving that up and saying, I'm willing to let that go so I can step into my next level.
Yeah.
And I seen that, man. I seen that with several young men, and even some men that were older than me, and not realizing even some of those areas that they were there. And I mean, for my life has been that the last 8 to 10 years is kind of surrendering everything, you know. So go ahead. You got to jump in.
We've 2023. We saw a lot of people finding out what the root was.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
And not only finding out what the root was, but taking the steps to start digging that root up.
Yeah.
And so the root to the fruit was anger. The fruit was jealousy. The fruit was, insecurity, doubt, anger. And I already said that, but what was the root of that?
Yeah.
Why do we act the way we act? Why are we insecure like that? And why do we feel not good enough? And why do we feel the pressure of that? And so going down and tracing that down to that root, we saw a lot of that in 2023. And we say that because, this is a podcast. And we do have guests and we do talk and for everybody to see.
Yes.
But the just tons and tons of texting, meeting one-on-ones, talking in the parking lot. I mean, just the stories that we hear. I mean, you just feel like I wish I could bless everybody with these stories.
So good.
But those are the times, and those are the private moments, and in confidentiality, definitely confidentiality, that we're able to hear these things or even express these things and even talk about these things.
Yeah.
And so we saw an amazing move forward to men finding out what the root of that fruit was.
Yeah, man. And I think even to kind of just some of the table conversations, right? I think the areas that we see when we come together as smaller groups, that's kind of like the one-on-ones like Patrick was talking about, or even just, the home smaller groups with a group of men stepping into the arena and really kind of just saying, this 1 or 2 word, and not having 5 guys just saying, well, this is how you fix it. This is what you need to do. Or the realization of men voicing that and coming back and saying, this is how I did on that, was huge. Because I mean, for me, that was a success. Not to say I'm not looking for, and I don't think we're looking for, any type of huge numeric win. I think Patrick said it earlier, the one man that watches this, the one person that is stepping into the arena to make their family, their home, their life, their community, their church better, that's success to me right there, man. And not to preach or anything, but that Jesus left the 99 for the one, man. And so for me, I see the one as being a million, because that one can touch many, right? We've seen the failures of that one as well. And but right now we're staying on successes. And so I think part of a 2023 reflection as well is that men who really live on mission move and shape their family, move and shape communities, move and shape faith communities, and things just get better overall, whether it's financially, even spiritually. I mean, you see it.
I've seen an amazing thing, and I'm going to talk about you for a little bit. I've seen an amazing thing in you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
I'll tell my secrets.
couple of the other brothers that we deal with, where we've all been to church.
Right. Yeah.
We were all, some of us for many years.
Yes.
But we're in a atmosphere. We're not talking about church.
Right.
We're not talking about denominations. We're not talking. And we believe this, and you believe that, and we believe this, and you believe that, and how come you do this, and how could? What we're doing is, how's the dad thing going?
Yes.
Man?
Yep.
Hey, how's your marriage going, man?
Yeah.
Hey, that thing you struggle with, how's that going?
Yes, sir.
Talking about everything but the arguments of church.
Right. It's
the most one of the most free. Now, there's a time and place for that.
Of course.
There's definitely a time and place for that. But if you guys saw this misfit of men from different denominations, from different backgrounds, from that just want to be better.
Yes.
It's been an amazing ride.
Yeah.
Going into a little bit of, some of the things we're still seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to preach either, but I will. But Jesus heals the 10 lepers.
That's right. So good.
Leprosy. I mean, that you left your families. I had an older man tell me who's actually saw leprosy in Hawaii. What island is it? Mauna Kea. Anyways, and he says that things don't just pop off; that they actually slide off, like your eyeball slides down, your nose slides down. So he was telling me about it, and to actually be healed from that, to be healed from that, Jesus heals the 10. One comes back, worships him. And Jesus said, "Where's the other 9? Like, wasn't there more of you?" And so I see, for myself, man, brother. God brought you from that, and you're gonna go back to that. Man, brother. God brought you and restored this, restored that. And you still gonna,
wow,
whatever it may be. But that's hard to hear. But that could be me.
Exactly.
That could be you.
Exactly.
At this time in my life, as we're speaking on this podcast,
right?
I'm a good boy.
Things
are going well. Things are going well.
That's the wife
now,
on that.
I pray. I was telling my wife the other day because
I'm a good boy, right? Honey?
Unfortunately, there was somebody we knew that fell from grace.
Yeah.
I said, I can say that'll never happen, whatever it may be. It might, be infidelity, it might be finances, it might be, anger, whatever it may be. I go, but I really would love to finish this race
so good
with no scandal. Because
that's good.
You can live 30, 40 years in the ministry, and then you get yourself involved in something.
Right.
Nobody's going to remember those 40 years. They're going to remember that one crazy night.
Wow.
They're going to remember that one crazy weekend, whatever it may be. Nobody's going to remember that. You remember, we've said before, the higher the pedestal, the longer the fall. And you can do 99 good things.
Yes, sir.
But that 100th thing that you did that was bad, that's what people are going to remember.
Yes.
And as much as we want to say, well, we'll still love you, we'll still be there for you, quite honestly, that's what they're going to remember. So I pray that I continue this walk with the Lord. Until I meet him one day.
Right.
On the straight path.
Even in this conversation, right, Patrick? I mean, even right now, we're good boys, right? Like at this moment, like at whatever time, 6:00 it is, at this moment, we're good boys. So thankfully, but at the same time, the accountability aspect of this, right? Like, you say this, look a man in the eyes. Woo, boy, that's hard. And there's a brother of mine, man, really good brother. He would always tell me, look me in the eyes. I'm like, oh, this is so weird, but it's kind of right, because you look the brother in the eyes, or you look another one in the eyes, and there's that accountability effort, knowing that if you fall, it's gonna suck for me, man. Like, there's that accountability aspect, but at the same time, we're all men, so we have choices, right? And I think that's a God-given opportunity. And we talk about failures in 2023, like you were talking about. There's a person that fell from grace, or there's people that fall from grace. That one failure was a lack of support from somewhere. Because
people see it.
But speaking to Mike a little bit.
People see it, but we have it in our minds. What do we say? That's none of my business.
Right.
Stay in my lane.
Right.
Not cause no drama. Not trying to piss nobody off.
Exactly.
Nothing's gonna change anyways.
Exactly.
Why even say anything?
So good.
We all say all those things. All those things. And then when somebody crashes and burns, some of us can go, well, what you think was going to happen?
Exactly.
Which sometimes I'm guilty of. I'm like, hey, man, what you think was going to happen? As you're laying there in the fetal position,
right?
Everybody. But a loving brother will say, you know what? And it doesn't have to be the Lord, and you're going to hell.
Man.
And you know what I've had? I've had amazing men in my life. I've always had Yodas in my life.
So good.
And shout out Marvin.
Exactly.
But I have had the simplicity of, you might want to slow your roll.
Oof. Yeah.
And that head, the old man head nod like this.
I do. I sure do. Yeah.
hey, Jose, you might want to slow your roll.
Yeah, buddy.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
Not a big old speech.
Exactly.
Not quoting a bunch of scripture.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
I know how this ends.
Yes.
I know how this ends. So that's the encouragement that works for me, and that's encouragement I see that works for men too.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, man. Because one thing that we've seen, I mean, Patrick, you've been in ministry for a long time, man. I mean, you're a little ahead of the game than I am, and we're going to get into seasons now. But the one thing I've been seeing with this journey of walking with men and walking, really looking at myself. That's kind of what this is. It's just looking at myself, and that's what we do. You know, we talk about this commitment aspect of one showing up, standing up in the arena and saying, "This, maybe I'm not going to say this tonight," or I'm Dylan. This is my weakness here. You know, we have these things. We have 5 conversations with journeymen, and they're asking simple questions, but yet they're so hard because we have to voice it. You know, and when we voice it with a brother, or we voice it in front of folks, we have to come back and say, "How in the heck we did there?" You know, and that to me is a challenge.
Yeah.
Because one, we're challenging ourselves mentally.
Yeah.
Number one, we're challenging ourselves spiritually. Number two, and then sometimes even physically. That's a lot for me, you know? And so I think when we challenge ourselves, we get better.
Yeah.
Because in this generation, my generation and below, you're not gonna tell them what to do. It's just not gonna happen no more, man.
Yeah.
Like, and so there's gotta be a better way. And I don't know if that's the right phrase.
No, there has to be a we hear it all the time, the light switch went on, and
so
I
good.
just it's something just clicked, and,
Yeah.
I got it. And it goes back to this. There's, you can sum it up in one, but
Yeah.
if I was to break it down into 3,
Yeah.
there's 3 reasons people argue.
Mm.
There's 3 reasons there's divorce. There's
Yeah.
3 reasons there's war. There's 3 reasons there's gangs. There's
Yeah.
3 and those 3 reasons are this.
Mhm.
You don't think the way I think.
Oh, oh man.
You
That's
don't
gonna take it deep. Go
you
ahead.
don't say what I would have said.
Yeah. Mm.
And you don't do what I would have did.
Mm. Mm.
Those are the 3.
Yeah.
When somebody doesn't think the way you think,
Right. Yeah.
somebody doesn't act the way or say what you would have said.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
And if they don't do what you would have did,
Yeah.
those 3 areas right there.
So good.
And then now we don't get along. And
Wow.
now we're frustrated. Now, I'm never talking to you for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so we have to step back
So good.
and go, okay, I don't think how you think.
Yeah.
And I don't act how you act. I
Yeah.
didn't say what you would have said, but
Yeah.
where can we go from there?
Yeah.
And so we harness onto that.
Yeah.
And we've said it all the time when, people are one conversation or one word,
Yeah.
one sentence away from never speaking to that person ever again for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we have to put on our helmet of salvation.
Yeah.
And so we have to put on our armor
Right.
daily.
Mhm.
It kind of goes into what I was going to
Yeah. Yeah. Jump in there, man.
So, man, this
I know,
microphone.
what's going
this
on, man?
microphone. What is it, rig-
Pray for us. If you want to
rig
donate
it?
some mic stands, bless you,
Oh,
man. That'd be
right.
great.
And light so you can see our eyes. And I was
Believe
sitting-
me, if you see our city, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, poor guys.
I was sitting here like this, not being standoffish. I was realizing, but I'm cold.
Yeah.
And it's like Alaska up in here, man.
That's so good.
And
Pray
you know
for
what? And in the summertime, if that air conditioner don't work,
Yeah,
remember we had that fan with ice right there.
Yes, sir.
Oh man,
Yes, sir. Hey, we make it work.
this
Humble beginnings.
This is humble beginnings. You know
Amen.
we ain't making no money here.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
this is the parable that I wanted to talk
Yeah,
about.
jump in.
Kind of just tell the story.
Mhm.
When we went to Alaska, like I said, I didn't have any jackets. I didn't have
Yeah.
any boots. I didn't have any long socks or
Yeah.
long johns or
Right.
anything like that.
That's why I don't like to go to the
yeah.
snow.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
I don't. And I would tell people there, how many hours and days of your life
Yeah.
do you spend getting all this stuff on?
Right. that's exactly
And how many
why.
hours and days and weeks and months and years do you spend taking all this stuff off?
Ah.
And they were like, oh no, nobody's ever asked us that.
That's so good.
I was like, dude, that has to be years of your life. Anyways, I was and there's just parts it's unexplainable,
Yeah.
the nothingness that's up there.
Yeah.
But then out of nowhere, you see a McDonald's. I'm like, what?
You're right.
Like what? Fairbanks, Alaska. Look it up.
Yeah.
And but you know what? In the week I was there,
Yeah.
I was never. I mean, I was cold at
Right.
times, but I was never like freezing
Mm.
because I had my hat, I had my scarves, I
Yeah.
had my my layers and
Yeah.
and you know everything that I needed.
Yeah.
I have been colder in Modesto
Mm.
than I was in Alaska.
Okay. Okay.
This is where I'm going with this.
Oh, okay.
Because I was prepared.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
In Modesto, it's cold outside, and I'll go take the trash out in my chanclas and my
Yeah,
shorts and my
yeah,
tank top.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what did I think was going to happen? You know, like I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you went out in the
Yeah.
the cold of the night in
Yeah.
your chanclas and your sandals and I mean your shorts and your tank top.
Right.
So I've been colder in Modesto
Okay.
than I've been in Alaska, and I thought about that.
Yeah.
It's because I was prepared.
Mm.
I was
Mm.
prepared for
Preparation.
I was prepared.
Mm.
And so when you one day either in the things we go through in our lives, we
Yeah.
either been through something,
Mm-hmm.
we're going through something right now,
Yeah.
or we're going to go through something.
Right.
And so when the times where things are good, we're in a good time right now.
Yeah.
That is not the time to get lazy.
Right.
That is not the time to stop worshiping. That's not the time to
Right.
stop reading. That's not the
Right.
time to stop fellowshipping.
Right.
This is not the time to do that.
So good.
Because this is an opportunity now to prepare ourselves
Yeah.
for when that thing happens,
So
for
good.
when we get that phone call, for
Yeah.
when we get when that situation happens.
Yeah.
These are the times now. And if we start layering
Yeah.
and preparing,
Yeah.
when that does happen and we're in that situation, we're going to be just fine.
Right.
We're gonna be just
Wow.
fine. So
Wow, man, that's
what I
so
got for
good.
that.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that, maybe because that's some good that's some good nuggets, and that's again, I mean, I'm not harping on what Journeyman is about, but we're hoping that we create some form of that for men. You know, that whether you're younger than Patrick and I, most of you probably are.
You bring up my age one more time, man. We're gonna have problems right here on the podcast.
Patrick looks probably younger than I do, but you know, I think there's a lot of young men who maybe were fatherless. Now, that was another thing that I saw in 2023, where men were stepping into the arena of dealing with their father issues.
Yeah,
You know, there was a lot of that I saw where, and it was in and out. It was in faith communities as well. I mean, there was just men just saying like, "Man, I gotta forgive that dude," or "I gotta take it in and kind of put that to the side, whether their trauma was or whatever that is, you know, whatever, or even like molestation and things of that sort that men, you know, just seeing it in and out of men dealing with that in 2023, and the freedom that I see these people walking through now, it's amazing. Now, it's a preparation for when it comes that nudge of like, because nobody's perfect. And so if you're going to sit here and tell me you got it together and you're successful, you're making $100 million, you're still dealing with something.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, the hopes is that, you know, you reflect back into either some of these podcasts or even just connecting with us and feeling, how do I do this in my community? We'd love to share that with you, man. Like we're not a perfect model, but we believe that we have something here that can help men for the preparation season.
It's almost like that dirty room at your house or that dirty closet where it's filled with garbage. And you just walk by it.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not cleaning that room. I'm not cleaning that garage. I'm not cleaning it.
That sounds like my garage.
But I think Journeyman in actually 2003 was a lot of
23. Yeah.
I mean 23 was a lot of listen, I'm not telling you that this room is dirty.
That's right.
But that's on you to open that door. Now look, you can have people come around you and go, that room is dirty. That's disgusting. I can't believe you even live like this.
Yeah.
Or you surround yourself with brothers and sisters that say, all right, well, I can help you.
Yeah.
You want me to help you?
Yeah.
You know, I'll stand here and you pull the stuff out.
Yes.
I might organize it for you or hey, this goes to donation. This goes thrown away.
Yeah.
And so it's not like we have to do any of this stuff alone.
That's right.
So a lot of 2023 was acknowledging that there was that room that needed to be cleaned.
Yeah.
And then brothers around and even sisters around that were like, hey, I'm right here with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about how bad it looks or how much it stinks.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Right. And that's a key, man. And I think too, what we've seen too is there's still men that, especially faith men, I mean, men in the faith community that really have this struggle to kind of voice that. I mean, it's to step in that arena and say, I'm a pastor, but I deal with this. You know, I'm a minister, but I deal with this. I'm a community leader, but I deal with this. And we're hoping that those folks get to a place and not by the cause of what we do or what we say or how we act. More than anything, it's for the betterment of themselves and their families, their communities, their churches, whatever, that they step in and face those things, man. It's a challenge. And there's a couple people that I know that have been in ministry that really, I think at some form of some time that I've seen that model that pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's like a 1%.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to home and work.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've seen it. I probably my own kids probably have seen it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I'm pretty, and then I come home and I'm just, how come this wasn't done? Man, Dad, you talk all that stuff, and then you're over here yelling at us like, oh, yeah. And my wife, oh, for sure, she'll point that out in a second. Or that person at work, they got the cross on their desk, and they got the, you know, whatever, Jesus loves you, and they just gossip all day, and they just running amok and talking bad about people and mad, and like, man, like I said before, you know, I was an atheist for many years. The thing that kept me away from Christianity the most was Christians. Right. And so I basically said, I can act bad on my own. I don't need to become a Christian to act bad. But really, you're, you know, I know we've all heard it before. You might be the only Bible people read. Mm-hmm. That is not perfection. Right. That's just simply having the discipline to hold your tongue, having discipline to you know, talk about that at another time, having the discipline to put that phone away, having the discipline to not look up those things. Yeah, come on. Having the discipline to, because we can hide from anybody. Yes, we can fool anybody. But we can't fool God. Come on, man. And eventually that stuff's going to come out. Man, I'm talking to myself right now. Sorry, everybody. I just pictured Jose like a mirror. Exactly. Talking to myself right now. And that's the piece, man. That is the piece. That's the accomplishment. What you guys saw right now, that's the model. Is us doing journeyman. Exactly, stuff. It just does. Just, you know, so good. And because it is true. Yeah. How am I going to talk about marriages and help the young couples in their marriages, and then I go and cheat? Yeah. Or I go and yell at my wife or physically or emotionally abuse her. Like, it's not going to match. That's right. How am I going to be out you know, I'm going to church on Sunday and we're going to have this event. And then I'm the guy at work that's, you know, chasing girls around and gossiping and doing this. Like, once again, I have been a great example of my faith in 20 years. And there's times I've been an absolutely horrific example. Amen. But I'm in a good spot right now. Parenting adults. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one, man. We have a couple. Before we close, we have a couple things. Just we want to just throw out there. If you're still listening, hopefully this will be part of the, you know, pull that nugget out and put it on a short YouTube clip or Instagram clip. Yeah. But it's one thing to have kids, and I remember going to Disneyland. I remember when my kids were little. Yep. My kids are now 30, 23, and 21. Yo. And then so I don't have 3 kids, I have 3 adults. Yo. And so this last year has taught me it's a whole other ball game. Yeah. Wow. I have one left at home, my 21, but it's a whole other ball game. Yeah. Do I say something? Do I not say something? Right. Do I get involved in the lives? Do I not? Do I say I agree or I don't agree? Do I what? They're still my kids. I'm still the dad, but I'm not. Right. It's a shift from parenting to so what happens is you have your immediate family. Yeah. So for you, it's you, your wife, and your 2 boys. Right. That's your immediate family. Yeah. 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 When your kids move out, you almost become the immediate not immediate family, the
In-law.
and like the
Okay.
extended family.
Okay,
Extended
yeah,
family.
extended family. Okay.
You almost become, so you have your immediate family and the extended family.
Yeah.
And so when your kids move out, you almost become the extended family.
Wow.
And they have their own immediate family.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a really new level of faith
Yeah.
for us right now.
Wow.
Love my kids absolutely to
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
There's nothing they could do that won't make me love them.
Mhm.
But it's definitely a new thing. And it
Yeah.
goes back to, you know, a lot of people, a lot of men, a lot of women, they stay married not because they're happy or
Yeah.
because like, oh my gosh, till death do us part.
Mm.
They're like, I don't want to leave you because of the
The
kids.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, I'm staying with you because of the kids.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, you know, because of the kids.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens when the kids leave?
Yeah, man.
Then
Wow.
what? Then it's you two staring at each other.
Exactly.
Like, man, I ain't loved you for like 80
Yeah,
years now, you know?
wow.
And so they wait. And so every
Mhm.
now and then you'll hear,
Yeah.
you hear so-and-so got divorced?
Mhm.
You mean the ones that were married 30 years?
Yeah.
How you gonna get divorced after 30 years?
Right.
Well, what it goes back to is
Yeah.
I was just waiting for the kids to leave.
Yeah.
So you're gonna live your whole life not
Wow.
happy. You're
Yeah.
gonna live your whole life not seeking
Yeah.
peace. You're gonna live
Yeah.
your whole life not at least working on
Yeah.
something.
No preparation.
No preparation.
Yeah. Wow.
And no reconciliation,
Yeah.
restoration.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna live in this house that's just falling apart
Yeah.
for 20, 30 years
Yeah.
instead of rebuilding and
Right.
restructuring
So
and,
good.
and reconciliation.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hear and
Yeah.
it's hard to see, but we're in that case
Yeah.
where
Wow.
our kids are older. And
Yeah.
if we hadn't, you know, anybody, you want to go back to my story,
Yeah.
you know, we were married for 7, separated for 2, and then
Mhm.
we've been back together for 15 years now.
Yeah.
But there was that time
Mm.
where, am I together for the kids?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
Mhm.
That's not a bad thing initially.
Yeah.
But if you're not working to reconcile, if you're not working to change, if you're not working to seek faith, if you're not working to build,
Yeah.
not fix,
Yeah.
but recreate something totally new
Yeah.
in your marriage,
Yeah.
then it's only a matter of time. 1, 2 skip a few later, they're 20,
Right.
21,
Wow.
25,
Yeah.
they're gone.
So good.
And now we're staring at each other. We're like, we didn't do anything for the last
Yeah.
15, 10 years, whatever
Yeah.
it may be.
Mhm.
So we're seeing a little bit of that.
Okay.
And so our encouragement is just to continue to seek your relationship with God
Yeah.
and get this relationship on track.
Yeah.
Well, my husband doesn't go to church.
Yeah.
Okay. Get on
Right.
track. My wife doesn't go to church. Okay.
Right.
Get on track.
Yeah.
You work on this relationship.
Right.
And once this relationship is on track,
Yeah.
now this relationship is on
Yes,
track.
sir. Mhm.
And so,
So good.
just want to mention that.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Because you know, this couple weeks ago, man, I got in the mail my son's 2024 graduation tassel,
Zeke,
and I'm like,
Zeke's a
what?
man.
Yeah, it's like we're in that. I'm looking at that tassel, and I can go to the same spot where he's walking in kindergarten. I know where it's at, and I don't want to cry, but I know where it's at, and I'm looking at that moment. I'm like, I remember what happened that day. I wasn't working. I was out of a job. I vivid moment of what he was wearing. Like I can see him as that little kid, and it's so mind blowing to say, "Oh my God, he's going to graduate high school." So it hit me, and it kind of just continues to hit me. But I've committed that. I've committed in my life that I'm not going to grind. I'm not going to grind his last year of school. And sorry, had some technical difficulties there, but I'm not gonna grind like I did when he was going to kindergarten. I'm gonna make sure that this last year I can value his transition to manhood, from young man to manhood in college and everything else. So the season that you're in is I'm in this middle with one child right now.
Yeah.
It's like I'm journeying through this right now,
Beginnings.
man, and it is like it's cool because now I have this man that is gonna graduate high school with honors and like just beyond my high school stuff, you know, which is I'm thankful for.
He'll be able to explain the Northern Lights.
Exactly.
He'll be able to explain the Northern Lights
Exactly.
to
He's
you
going to give you
guys.
stats and everything else, man, and
Yeah.
be really smart at it. But you know, it's so key that we stay focused, even in whatever season it is. The preparation season is keeping that, and that's what we hope that Journeyman is. is that we continue to have this preparation moment of each one of us, not this mission, not Journeyman, the name. It's Jose and Patrick individually stepping into those arenas of our heart, of our life, and our situations, whether it's weaknesses or whether it's enhancements of skills. Those two things. Not to like say we're going to be He-Man all the time, because we're not. I mean, there's just the realness of it. But when we have this support mechanism where we can commit to ourselves and come back and voice that in a space, or learn from a podcast or whatever it is, we're preparing. And I believe that one of my mentors is also Patrick's mentor. And he says the wisdom is always in the room.
In the room, yeah.
And it's so true. And not to say that, I mean, and here's a hard piece. I know that the hard piece is for men is we're fixers. That's number one. And so we're always going to want to fix the situation. But I believe there's more power when the person can fix it themselves. But in reality, it's already fixed. Yeah. It's just saying it and voicing it, whatever it is, whatever weakness it is. Anyways,
I think with men too, the pendulum swings. Where I'm gonna fix, I'm gonna take care of, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and if not, I'm gonna stay home, sit on my chair, and watch football and drink beer, and don't nobody ask me nothing. Because
I'll knock you out.
I'm just done being around people. I'm done going to church. I'm done with your little groups. I'm done with your little meetings. I'm done with your little vacations. I'm done. I just leave me alone.
Right.
And everybody else go do whatever.
Yeah.
So the pendulum swings.
Oof. That's so
you did everything, and now you get to a point where like I'm not doing anything now, and I have to be careful. I'm tired now. I don't have to be. I don't have to do it. But what is your purpose?
That's so good.
And why are you still here on this earth? So you have to continue to move out and find
this microphone, dude.
You know what?
Bloopers.
I know.
Wow. Here we go.
For 2024,
man.
Jose will not be using those buttons.
We're gonna change it. You're gonna change it up
for
a little
2024.
Bit
Hey, guess what, everybody? Guess what, everybody? Next month.
Next month. A good
February.
One.
Let's closing thoughts.
Yeah, man. So, man, we're looking forward to 2024. One, to bring in guests that we believe that are living on mission, that maybe men can find and support it, and kind of like, man, this guy is doing this. How in the heck is he doing that? He's, so anyways, we want to continue to highlight men that we believe that are living out the mission of Journeyman in the areas of faith, family, community. And man, I'm excited for next month. We're also going to be creating some topical conversation on how men can grab some nuggets in the areas of spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. What are some tactics, financially, whatever that is? We're going to bring that in as well throughout the year. And man, we just hope that you continue to hit the like, subscribe, share, and so forth, man. But next month we'll be here with Dean Dodd with the Shower Shuttle, man. Mr. Dean Dodd. That's a man. The dude is just from nothing to, I mean, his story. I'm not gonna butcher the story. I want you guys to tune in next month, and we're gonna continue this on Thursdays. I believe it's every third Thursday of the month. At 6 p.m. You just tune in live. If not, just catch the replay. Just hit the share button, hit the like button. Get the word out. But man, Dean Don from the Shower Shuttle, man. And he's got the laundry shuttle too, man. And he's a pastor. And man, there's just so much that we're excited to have Dean Don with us next month. And you're gonna be finding too. I mean, if it's tugging in your heart to find support these missional living folks, man, please do so, and the information will be on the podcast and so forth, man. But yeah, Dean Don's gonna be good, man.
Dean Dodd is an amazing man, and we've known him for a while. But to actually live out your faith, to actually be the hands and feet of Christ, some people are raised around really bad religion,
right,
and really bad examples of faith,
right.
And so when you see somebody like Dean Dodd, that hey, while you guys are debating, and while you guys are arguing, while you guys are gossiping, I'm gonna be out here giving showers to the homeless, and providing for them, and I'm sure Dean has his own ups and downs too, but to actually get out there and do the work of Christ.
So
man.
good, man.
I remember my daughter, she sang a long time ago, like 10 years ago, she sings. And so she was going to sing it when he was preaching.
Yeah.
And so we went down to Bear Brook
park,
and he had all the chairs and the and so
homeless
camp.
Yeah.
Nobody was there. So we get there and nobody was there.
Wow.
Well, they start setting up the chairs.
Yeah.
And they start setting up some of the food and stuff.
Yeah.
And then people just started coming out of like the river and just, just out of under the bridges. And my daughter looks at me and she's just like,
where did they come from? Yeah.
And I say, hey, this is exactly where Jesus would have been.
That's so good.
This is exactly where he'd be. He'd be right here with these people right here and loving them and praying for them. So he's a great example. We can't wait to have him here.
Yeah.
And keep us all in prayer. We'll keep you guys in prayer.
Definitely.
Reach out.
Yeah.
We do actually check the website.
We get notifications.
We get notifications. Actually check the website.
Yeah. And we will, Journeyman would love to partner with you all, even if you're a church or a men's group or whatever it is. I mean, we're not here to take over anything, but we would love to partner and see what God does in between your organization or your men's group, or even
you want to feed me?
Yeah, we did, man. Right crab there, feeds, all that stuff, but don't hesitate to reach out. We love to partner with you all. And again, this is not about a brand. This is about missional living in the areas of faith, family, community, man. The preparation season, let's do that together as men, because the world will get better and we'll begin to see more of heaven on earth. And I'm excited for that, man. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. We pray that this has blessed you. The simple conversations of 2024 and what we've seen in 2023, and maybe you got some good laughs from Patrick and Baldy Jose here. But but yeah, man. So Patrick, man, any last closing comments? Any last things before we sign out here?
I'm just excited for people to just break out of their shells.
Yeah, come on.
And remember.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, even if you don't believe in God, remember, God is okay with if.
That's yeah.
God is okay with if.
Yeah.
If you're real.
Yeah.
If you want this to happen in my life.
Yeah.
Thy will be done.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm talking to myself.
Right.
Because it's funny, like, I just give this all to you, Lord, and I just praise you and I just trust in you. And now I'm gonna be up all night worrying. Like, how does that don't even match?
So good.
That don't even match, man. That don't even match. So, it helps us practice about this thing too.
Totally.
And if it's two subscribes and two, then it's two.
Exactly.
Then it's two. We're gonna continue doing
That's
what
right.
we do, and it holds us accountable.
Exactly.
As men, it holds us accountable as husbands, as fathers.
Yeah.
And take care of the four walls of our house first. And I just love you, man.
Love you too, bro. It was so good to have you, man. And thank you for giving up your valuable time of retirement and joining me.
Can we do another hour?
Yeah, exactly.
I have nothing to do.
That's funny. But 2024 is going to be a great year. It will be a shaking year, but this is the preparation, these things that we're doing here in Sharpen, and as well as men supports. So let's look forward to 2024. It's a breakout year in different areas, man. It's going to be good. So we'll see you next month with Dean Don. Have a blessed night. And don't forget to hit the like, just share the button, like, notification, everything else. You know what we're talking about.
Love you guys.
Love you all. Have a great night.
But today we must take a wider look. Because of modern communication and modern technology, the whole world has become our neighborhood. And we are demographically moving closer and closer to each other, and we've become a neighborhood without becoming a brotherhood.
Journeyman is a platform where men can lay down their titles, grow together, learn from each other, and be accountable to each other. Many of us deal with several problems throughout our lives, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. At times, we may feel alone in our troubles. However, Journeyman is a space where you can feel safe expressing yourself with other men that are on the same path. Journeyman is a space for people like myself who never thought they would be living purposefully in their life.